Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books from Book of the Month Club and beyond. Today is Memorial Day weekend, and I hope you're having a very good one. I'm your host, I'm Renee, and I'm going to do for you a tag. I was tagged by Bookless Pete on this one, and this is called the Intimidating TBR Tag. So I have all my intimidating books all lined up and all ready for you. Let's talk about them. So, first question is, what book have you been unable to finish? I almost feel bad for this book because I have abandoned it so many times. And it's really not the book's fault. That book would be Bel Canto by Ann Patchett. And this book is a banned book in Florida. And when she found out that this book and one of her other ones did get banned in Florida, in the county where Orlando is, I think it's Orange County, she just gave just such a sarcastic retort, and I just loved it. And I went out and bought the two books. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. That's how far I am. I just didn't expect for it to happen, of course, but I got diagnosed with breast cancer last month, in the month of April. And although I'm doing well, you can imagine it has affected my ability to focus. And I do spend a lot of time looking up different things related to my diagnosis, related to surgery, how to take care of myself, and all kinds of things. So that has interrupted my train of thought with this book so many times. I will finish it by the end of the year. I promise. I promise, Ann Patchett. And maybe even read the other one as well. But yeah, poor Bel Canto, it has been abandoned. So, what book have you yet to read because you just haven't had the time? That one would be The Emperor of All Maladies, which is a biography of cancer by Siddhartha Mukherjee. This book is, again, excellent. A very good book. I've made some decent progress with it. I enjoyed reading it, but it's hard for me to find time to do any more reading about cancer that I don't feel like I really have to do, because there are things that I need to know about my particular cancer. So this, as a result, has kind of also become one of my abandoned books. But I still highly recommend this if you're interested in that subject matter, or if you're interested in reading about science. It's very well done. It's very well done. And I hope that I do end up finishing it one day. I'm quite sure I will. Okay, so now, same question. What book have you yet to read because it's a sequel? Okay, now this is interesting. I did a little short segment about finding this book at the Goodwill, because I had just mentioned it on my channel, and I think it was the very next day or just a couple days later that I found it at the Goodwill for $1 or whatever. Later, I found The Hobbit. Okay. Another week that I went there, I found The Return of the King. That means I'm looking for The Fellowship of the Ring. Haven't found it yet. When I do, I'll start reading the Lord of the Rings series again. I'll probably start with the Hobbit, so I could actually do that, but then when I'm done with it, I'll be looking for a Fellowship of the Ring anyway, so there you go. So then, what book have you yet to read because it's brand new? On that, I would say the book You Like It Darker by Stephen King. That's one that I would like to read. I like his short stories generally, and some people are starting to do reviews on that particular book. I think, in fact, Criminale has a good review of it. He just read it recently, and there was quite a few of the stories that he liked, and he talked about a little bit without any spoilers. So yeah, I'm kind of intrigued by some of it, and I would really like to get hold of that soon and start reading it. What book have you yet to read because you read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it? Well, I really couldn't think of one that I had in my collection that I wasn't reading because I didn't like one of the author's other books. But there is one that I read fairly recently. I think it was around the time that I first started this channel, a little over 6 months ago. And that was called Good Morning Midnight by Lily Brooks Dalton. I think I have a full review of it on my channel somewhere, like way early on. And then I bought her other book, which is The Light Pirate. I really liked Good Morning Midnight. And I thought I would just gobble up The Light Pirate. And somehow it just keeps getting pushed back further and further on the shelf and covered over by all these other things that I've been picking up and whatever. And so I've not gotten to it yet. But hopefully I will soon. I've heard good things about it, so I am looking forward to it. I really like her style of writing. What book have you yet to read because you're just not in the mood for it? Well, I would say that is probably this book, which the reason I got it is because I thought that there might be something interesting in it that would help me with my channel. For instance, the book is called How to Read a Book, The Classic Guide to Intelligent Reading. And the authors are Mortimer J. Adler and Charles Van Doren. And it also has good information about how to do a book review, determining an author's message I'm looking at, x-raying a book, pigeonholing a book, how to read practical books, suggestions for reading stories, plays, and poems. So I just thought that some of this information would be kind of nice to have in the background or even talk about outright again on my channel. But for some reason, I guess I must think I know it all because I just haven't been interested in reading about how to read a book. So this is another one that just kind of keeps shuffling to the back, and every once in a while I go, hey, what is that? And, pull it out, and there it is. So sooner or later, I'll get to it, I'm sure. Okay, so what book have you yet to read because, and I like this, because it's humongous? Well, this has been going on for a while. Not just since I've had the channel, but for quite a few years now. I have been wanting to read this doorstop, The Stand, and I just have not gotten around to it. Of course, I got the complete uncut version. Like I say, it is a doorstop, and yeah, I just never have gotten around to it. Looks like it's a little over 1,100 pages. Yeah, like 1,150 pages. So, yeah, this like will be a TBR for 1 month. I hope. Soon. What book have you yet to read because it was a cover buy that turned out to have poor reviews? Well, I don't want to say it had necessarily poor reviews, but I bought this series again for $1 at the Goodwill because the covers were cool. They're young adult, kind of horror mystery, I guess. House of Dark Shadows, Watcher in the Woods, that's book 2. And this one's book 3, Gatekeepers. Like I say, they look cool. I knew they were young adult. I read the young adult mysteries sometimes. And I thought that would be something I would take on. Then when I started reading the reviews and stuff, I don't know what it was exactly. I don't want to say it had bad reviews, but it just wasn't striking me maybe the way that I thought it was going to. And so I kind of questioned why I bought these. I probably should have looked at those reviews and maybe gotten a better idea before I bought the book. I think I had one thing in my mind, and this may be another. But I'm going to give them a try anyway. You never know. I maybe now have the wrong concept in my mind. Like I say, my mind hasn't quite been right. So I could be thinking of anything. But we'll see. Cool covers. You have to agree with that. What is the most intimidating book in your TBR pile? Well, here's a book that, let me slide back here and grab it. Here is a book that I said I would read in the month of October, overnight, by myself in the house. And I don't know why I said that, because this book intimidates me. I've heard actually good things about it. It's called The Troop, obviously. Nick Cutter. Like I say, I mentioned it once before. Absolutely coolest name for a horror writer that there could ever be. It's a pen name for him. But some of the things in it I know are not going to strike me very well. And I know that there are scenes of animal torture. I was advised by someone to read it and just skip over those parts, which probably was the best advice. I think that was Farah from Bookstalgic who said that. That's actually very good advice, because I did see on another person's YouTube channel, and I can't remember exactly who that was, where she said that you could actually read this story and enjoy it without reading those scenes. So I think that's probably what I'll end up doing. And I still kind of like the idea of doing an overnight and just kind of, videoing a little bit as I go along. And you can see my reaction to it in real time, I guess. Yeah, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I have to say, I'm a little intimidated by that, and I hope that it works out well. So, let's see. The last prompt is to tag other people. Yeah, consider yourself tagged if you're watching this. This is actually a very good tag, in the sense that it gets you to take a look at some of the books that you haven't been reading and kind of figure out why. Is it based on reviews? Is it based on the fact that maybe it was somewhat of an impulse buy for you? It kind of reveals a little bit about your thought process and where you're at the time. So it is helpful. So if you like my content, please remember to subscribe. hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment for me. I appreciate all of those things. And I hope that you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy yourself and stay safe. Thanks, and thanks for watching.